How's it going, everyone? I am Nick from goto.game. Today we're joined by JackHuddo, head of goto.game. How's it going, Jack?
Good, mate. How you doing?
Pretty good, pretty good. In this video, we're talking about Newzoo's esports and games live streaming trends to watch in 2022. Now, we've had a brief look over this. Huddo, have you had any thoughts on kind of where esports and gaming for live streaming is going in 2022?
Mate, I feel like I don't even know these days, eh? Like, there's so many thoughts you could have on where it's going to go, what's going to happen. Man, are we going to see people... Are we going to see the next like NFT space, gaming, esports? Is there going to be a new IEM, Intel Extreme Masters, but they're going to be playing, you know, some sort of blockchain game or something like that? I literally have no idea. I think like the staples are going to stay. Hopefully we see, you know, in-person events come back, because I think that'll be cool, because that's what I really love going to and obviously watching. But I think like the staples will stay. Hopefully we see some stuff, you know, from PUBG, from Apex, from CSGO, like all the things that I enjoy anyway. I know there's a lot more titles out there, but I don't know, man. I think there's so much that could be done, and I think it's going to be a wild ride, which is going to be cool.
Yeah, I agree. Like we're pretty lucky in Melbourne, well in Australia right now. We've got DreamHack coming, and we've got PAX and potentially coming as well. Like there's been announcements or something brewing. Especially for the live scene, this is not live stream, but just like all of these events and stuff coming together. Yeah. I'm pretty keen. Well, yeah, let's jump into the article and have a look. So this is the Newzoo article talking about esports and game live streaming trends to watch in 2022. We've got number 1, blockchain will become more prominent in esports as organizations continue to diversify. Number 2, mobile esports will continue to grow as the biggest mobile publishers fight for dominance. Number 3, lines between esports and traditional sports will continue to blur. Number 4, co-streaming will continue into a common marketing strategy for brands. And number 5, live streaming platforms will become even more interactive. All right, so let's jump into number 1. Blockchain will become more prominent in esports as organizations continue to diversify. Now, we've already seen several partnerships happen with large esports organizations with crypto-based and blockchain-based companies. And we're talking about in our last video about the kind of whole play to earn NFTs kind of thing and strategy and all of that happening as well. Really, like there's this whole wave of things happening, right? Like, and it's kind of been deemed and dubbed Web3 is what I see a lot of it being called. I'm involved with it. I have a little bit of understanding around it. I'm no expert in the space, but I'd say like I'm getting my hands wet. I'm kind of, you know, trying to test things and figure things out. What are your thoughts on kind of blockchain? I know we've had a lot of conversations in the past about things, but them getting involved with esports as organizations, and then we can talk about how that as well works with gaming later.
Yeah, I genuinely don't really know. I haven't looked into it in a sense of like going so deep down the rabbit hole to find out exactly what the plans are, even more ideas around what it could be. But I think it's exciting. I think it could be exciting. As we've seen, like we've even had a few people, you know, kind of reach out to us about, you know, kind of working in the gaming space. They're coming from an NFT. They're coming from a crypto side, and you know, I think there are a lot of people, and specifically gamers, that aren't really that keen on the whole NFT crypto kind of blockchain thing. So I think it'll be hard, and it'll have to be the right people that do it. I don't know who that could be. Some sort of prominent figure in the esports space that, you know, has maybe done things like this in the past, but has a really good reputation of not messing people around and not, you know, screwing with the way things work, but also making it better, making it more profitable, bringing more eyes to you know, to esports and to the whole gaming space as a whole. So I think it can work. I think it just needs to be done by the right person or the right group of people for people to really understand it and kind of see that it is a positive thing and there is potential there. But yeah, we just have to hopefully have the right person to kind of be the forefront of that and see what they do, and hopefully it works out well, because it is exciting. And I know we talk about it a lot. And again, I don't understand it a whole lot, but you know, I think it is exciting for sure.
Yeah, and again, the big thing, I think you've hit this really well, is the right people to do the right thing. Like
Yeah.
So far, and we touched on it in the last video, that there's a lot of people coming into the space, a lot of organizations coming into the space, but they're missing the mark in some respect, and they're not doing too well with that. So how does this work for esports? How does this work as a different way for partnerships to grow? Like, we know in Australia, the AFL has now partnered with Crypto.com, which is pretty massive, right? They've got a massive huge partnership there. Then there's all of these international teams also partnering with crypto-based companies. And looking at like where that is headed, for me at least, it's another revenue stream potentially, right?
Yeah.
Those partnerships and those affiliations 100%. And all of this interest in crypto, people purchasing, kind of like purchasing with a stock exchange in some respect. It's really like, yeah, it's hard to see what's going to happen, but there's so much money from a blockchain crypto side of things, with investment rounds, with all of that, that's pouring into other avenues and spaces. And the tech aligned and the gaming audiences tend to be the first call to action for blockchain and crypto, because they're already using the hardware. They have some understanding of how technology works. They're kind of the lowest hanging fruit. So I think there's like a good alignment with the types of audiences, but I still think there's a messaging and education problem happening with that as well. Like, you know, we're not seeing everyone pick it up. There's a big backlash on gaming and blockchain and crypto.
Yeah.
So how to, you know, what's happening there and what will happen there. It's a very big discussion. And we did talk about it in the last video, so I won't go into it too much in this one, but it's something to keep an eye on for sure. Like I'm interested in
100%.
it. I'm interested in it.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of weight there.
I don't even know much about it, and I've not really invested too much at all. Maybe like a couple of $100 here and there on some on some Dogecoin or some shit, you know what I mean? But like, you know, I understand it a little bit, and I think it really could be something. But again, it's just got to be done the right way. The gaming space is very fragile in respects to change in it, you know, not so much change in just the general sense, but something like this, which could be like massive and groundbreaking and use all those LinkedIn words, you know, like it could be huge, but I think it's just got to be done the right way, and people probably will accept it eventually. But yeah, the esports space is pretty fragile when it comes to this stuff, I think, anyway. So
yeah, no, we'll keep an eye on it for 2022. But Newzoo's kind of got it as number one, which is a big one.
That's wild, eh?
Yeah. Moving on to number 2, mobile esports will continue to grow as the biggest mobile publishers fight for dominance. So we've seen some, even locally, we've seen some mobile streamers and content creators come through goto.game, PUBG Mobile, Call of Duty Mobile, like all of these up and coming games, or like ports that have come from PC to mobile, to open up to a whole nother network. Like, I don't know your experience on this, Jack, but my biggest thing for mobile esports was Clash Royale. The developers, Supercell, they Clash of Clans, if you know them. That was a big thing for me, and that kind of years ago, like that was a big game that I was playing on mobile all the time. And watching their like productions for mobile esports, like I still feel like there's a massive space for it. What are your thoughts like on those games, on the space, where it's headed? What do you think about it all?
Man, I think it'll always be massive, because the market for mobile gaming, especially in, you know, the Southeast Asian markets, especially from what we've seen, is like working with Facebook gaming, mobile games and mobile marketing is massive. Like, it is still quite a huge player in sort of Facebook gaming, and I think it'll just continue to be massive. There's more games coming out. There's more, you know, I guess companies getting involved with events and putting on tournaments and things like that. And even now, like, there are a lot of up and coming streamers, and even some streamers that are still quite large now, bringing up their clans and bringing up kind of their communities. Even we've seen that here recently with a few mobile creators becoming quite large. You know, on all different platforms. A lot of them being on Facebook, because Facebook has quite a large mobile gaming base. But yeah, I don't see the mobile space slowing down at all. Really, only getting bigger with everything that's going on right now. So I'm excited to see it. I don't really get into it too much. I watch a little bit, but I don't really play it. But yeah, now obviously with us working with Facebook, I've been watching a lot more and learning a lot more and chatting with some of the creators who are working with that kind of only stream mobile games. So yeah, I'm super keen to learn as much as I can about it and kind of get more involved if I can.
Yeah, amazing. And I think there are a lot of great points you touched on in that. The big one being Southeast
Mm.
Asia as a market for mobile, right? And us being
Yeah.
closely tied with Facebook and working with Facebook Gaming and seeing that growth in that space in that industry. The big thing as well is that we in Australia, we've all got consoles, we've all got PCs, most of us, right? We've all got access to
Mhm.
some of that high tech, whereas in some of the developing countries they don't. They've got mobiles that they're working with, and
Yeah.
a game like Free Fire, like Garana Free Fire as well, being
Mhm.
massive in the South American, countries is crazy over there. Where it's not as big here because all of the people here are playing Fortnite. Like they've got the ability to access the devices that play Fortnite, and you could
Yeah.
say people playing mobile Fortnite. I think they may have missed the mark in that region because another game had sprouted up and gained popularity before Fortnite hit the mobile market. So there's a
Yeah.
really interesting kind of dynamic now where a lot of these publishers and game developers are also thinking about each region in different platforms.
Mhm.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see more mobile ports coming, or even to be released at the same time as the desktop or console port. So, number 3, the lines between esports and traditional sports will continue to blur. So, this has got a little subtext here. Esports brands like sports before them are evolving into lifestyle brands. Huge sports leagues and teams are also competing in esports and creating esports divisions. So I think the big
Mhm.
one that I kind of always look to is like 100 Thieves and FaZe and all of their like apparel lines and merch drops that they're doing. And then also ties it with like
Yeah.
NBA doing their 2K league and Barcelona having a team in esports, right? Like a specific team in esports. There's a
Yeah.
lot of things happening in that space that, we've been looking at, it's been coming through, but what really is happening here? Is it more that they're trying to diversify their audiences to try and pull them across to traditional sport, or there's a
Mhm.
good alignment between competitiveness, like which I think is a really big thing, is that competitiveness
100%.
in sport and any type of sport, be it gaming or traditional, is something that's always going to be like in the nature of competition and human nature, right?
Mhm.
What do you?
I definitely agree on both of those points. I think it's a really good space, or both of the spaces to bridge over and use each other to grow, because like I guess a lot of people that I talk to, they still watch sports. I don't watch a lot of sports, I guess, in the terms of like traditional, NBA and your footballs and your soccers and all those types of things. I'm a lot more motorsports side, but then you also have that gap as well, that you've got professional race car drivers are using gaming sims as their practice
Yep.
for their tournaments. Then you've got um a video came out a couple of months ago. There was the I forget exactly what it was, but it was like the champion of the online drifting championships in the UK. And then you've also got the number one UK like drifter, like real life drifting, and they did a video. They brought the dude that won the online drifting into the track to drive. This guy's like completely worked Nissan Silvia. He'd never driven a drift car in his life before, and it was like an 800 wheel horsepower car. And he got in there, and they took him around. They showed him around a little bit, and then he jumped in the seat, and he literally just demolished it. Knew
Yeah.
exactly what he was doing. Took everything over. He said, literally, the only difference is obviously the G is going into the corners because you can't really feel that sitting in a at home in your sim racer.
Mm.
But like he smashed it. And when I looked at that, I was like, that's crazy, because I'd always had that thought in my mind of like, how relevant are all these things you pick up, and especially with like online racing and sim racing, does that just transfer over? And it may not in every case, but in this case, it really did. And I think that's the same with kind of everything at the moment. Even in Australia, you've got AFL teams, buying or sponsoring esports teams. You've got even the Chiefs with their own protein line going into gyms and weightlifting, that sort of stuff. So I think the lines will always be blurred, but I think as long as it's done right, and I think for the most part it always will be, because it's a pretty easy transition from what it looks like from a sort of an out front. Yeah, I think it'll always be blurred, and I think it's really exciting. Even like some of the stuff you see on NoPixel in the GTA roleplay. You've got like professional drivers and professional racers coming over and getting involved in the racing scene. You've got huge names in the UK rap scene like P Money, my boy P Money. He's now like a really prominent figure on NoPixel and has changed the way the music scene in NoPixel works in an online GTA roleplay world. So I think the lines of gaming and then esports and music and everything else will always overlap, and it'll always be for the most part a positive thing.
Number 4, co-streaming will grow into a common marketing strategy for brands. So we've seen some co-streaming in the past, but more for like creators, right? But this is more esports brands and organizations, and they're talking about non-endemic brands actually co-streaming with brands themselves, whether it be small placements on the stream or whether it be an actual stream to a Facebook page that is owned by brands, like you were mentioning before. There's a lot of different ways that brands are getting involved in the space that is being run by the game developers, the publishers, or even tournament organizers to be able to build into the gaming space and the esports space with the rebrand of a non-endemic. What are your thoughts on this, JackHuddo? What do you think about the whole co-streaming space and like marketing strategy and brands getting involved with that?
I think it's cool. Like I've always really enjoyed like working with brands, whether it's with the day job with goto.game or whether it's with my own stream at night. I feel like I've always really enjoyed just working with brands, doing cool things with brands. So brands getting involved in things. I know some people don't really like seeing sponsorships and go and like this product and check this product out and stuff like that. But if it's done right, it can be done in really cool ways, and it can really kind of benefit both parties. It can always benefit the endemic brand or non-endemic brand. It can benefit whatever company that is going through whatever brand, whatever game they're kind of sponsoring, and then there can always be a win for the viewers as well. So I think again, all of all of this comes down to, if it's done right, it can work really well. And obviously, we've seen a lot of stuff done really right. We've seen a lot of stuff done not so right. So I guess again, it just depends. But I think it's cool to see, and I would love to. I always love to see, and I would love to see more of it. Brands really getting into the gaming space because they want to really support it and they really want to get involved in the long term. You see a lot of brands come and go. You see a few brands kind of sticking with it for a long term. So I think it's cool, and I'm definitely keen to see more brands get involved, but for the long term, not just come in here, sponsor an event, hope it goes well. If it goes well, go, yep, cool, that was sick. We did some stuff in gaming, and then leave again. I would love to see some more big brands coming in and kind of getting involved, especially in the ANZ market. I think it would be really cool. So things we're always working on. I think that we've all done an incredible job where we're at right now. Like 100%. Seeing how far everything's come in the last couple of years is absolutely insane. To see how many people, esports teams, content creators, everybody are still around even through the pandemic. No one's given up, and I think that's just a typical Aussie, New Zealand, ANZ way. Like we don't care what's in front of us. We don't care how far behind people think we are. We don't care what's coming at us. Like, we're still going to be here at the end of the day. We're still going to be doing our thing. We're still going to be killing it, making great content, providing great entertainment. And I think that's kind of what sets us apart from the rest of the world. Because again, we are a little bit behind in terms of, viewership and budgeting and whatnot, but it doesn't stop anyone really. It hasn't stopped anyone. Everyone's still continuing to grow. So that's something I see exciting. And yeah, I just hope there's a few more big brands kind of see the ANZ market as a kind of key to what they're doing, and kind of push more into this region. So hopefully, maybe goto.game will be the one that helps out. As always,
we'll get you there.
100%.
And number 5, live streaming platforms will become even more interactive. We expect more platforms and publishers to announce live streaming first titles that leverage creator-viewer interaction following success stories like Facebook's rival Peak. So I don't know, have you played many games where, your Twitch, it's like Twitch chat, can actually interact with your game? Like, I know there's some of the mods that help with like Minecraft spawners or certain things. Like, I know it's probably not as prominent on some other platforms as much yet, but There's been
Yeah.
like, people type in a chat, it actually interacts with what's happening with you in game. What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's awesome. I haven't really done too much that directly impacts it. I've obviously played over the years with like if someone requests the chat points or whatever, or a gift a
Mm,
sub, or donate some money, then this will happen or whatever. That's always going to be a thing. But I think actual integration with games is exciting, and I think it's going to be really cool to see more of that happening. There are a few mods for Minecraft, as you mentioned, that happens. So people can claim kind of chat points, or if they were to give some stars or some bits or a sub or something, then that will directly impact the game. It'll go to nighttime. Whatever you're holding will get dropped on the ground or something like that, or you'll get teleported, X amount of blocks or whatever. So I've seen that integrated a lot, and then you've also got the GTA mod as well. That people are able to put one through to four or whatever it is, however many numbers, 1 to 4, I believe it is, into chat, and then the chat bot will pick up how many people are voting for which number, and there'll be 1 makes car slidey, 2 teleports car, 3 makes car fly, whatever, or whatever it is, and you're trying to play through the base story of the game, but the chat decides what happens. So there are
yeah,
stuff like
yeah.
that, but it's all at the moment, from what I've seen, is most of the time it's mods. It's mods that have been built to pick up the what chat says or what chat's doing or what chat wants to happen, and then that's what happens in the game. I haven't really seen much at the moment from like a fully integrated game with a platform, whether it be Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, whatever. I'm keen. I think it's going to add to the experience. It's going to help these communities continue to grow. The chat's going to feel a lot more in tune with the creator as well,
Mm.
and it's going to be, in a way, positive for everybody except really the content creator, who's going to be getting messed with the whole time. But that's the
Yeah.
whole fun of it, right? You get to
Yeah.
have fun as a creator. The chat gets to have fun by putting shit on you as always, and everybody wins.
Yeah, I think the good one, like a good one that I see all the time is like marbles on stream, right? Everyone kind of queues up that they want to
Yes,
get involved, and then the
I've
content
done
creator
plenty of
like
marbles on stream.
comments and casts what's happening, and like there may be
Yeah.
something at stake, or I don't know, some prizes or whatever else that happens. Like
Mhm.
that always seems really fun, right? People get involved with that type of content because they want to see their name on the screen and interact with your community, right? I think there's something really
Yeah.
cool with that. It's I think a big thing like Twitch chat plays Pokemon or that type of thing, right? That blew up. What if there's another
Oh,
type of
100%.
thing that can happen, and like especially on other platforms, like opening up the API for mods to actually do a bit more like that, or even have publishers, like this is suggesting, have publishers actually directly build for that in mind. That would be
Yeah.
insane. Like to have some integrations with Facebook, with YouTube or Twitch that allows you as a content creator and then the community to actually vote on certain things, or help or assist. Like they drop you a health pot because your chat's redeemed like 300 points or something. Like there's some really interesting, cool mechanics that they can do to help and also hinder, any gameplay. I reckon most
True.
probably most chats will hinder, right? They'll
Oh,
they'll go against
100%.
you. They'll make your life
100%.
difficult. Make your life difficult.
Mine would anyway. Mine would, like, without a doubt.
Yeah.
If there's a way they can mess with what I'm doing. Imagine if like they could do it with roleplay as well. Like that would be. I know it wouldn't be very immersive, but it would be funny.
Just all of a sudden your gun starts firing.
Oh, bro.
Chat's just set off your gun.
That would be hilarious. That would be funny. But that is the thing that they've already got, like with the mods with GTA. So that chat plays is really funny to watch. Really funny to watch. So anything more publishers are getting on board with that, I think would be awesome. Especially like story mode games where the chat can kind of directly affect the way it happens. Or can you imagine if people that were trying to go for those Minecraft speed runs, but then chat was able to mess with the game somehow? Like
Yeah.
that would be incredible. I think like it would work for the publisher because they would be adding more to it. More people will be playing it. Chat will be getting more involved, and it would be positive for the publisher. For the streamer, man, like, can you imagine if like when all the big streamers, were going for the world record for the Minecraft speed run, Imagine if all their chats were able to be involved in directly messing with them. They would all wait till the last second, then they would directly mess with them right at the end to stuff their run up. Like, I think like that being able to be implemented on that one would really frustrate the streamer, which would suck for them, but I think they would kind of enjoy it possibly, but it would be funny and fun and entertaining. But I think it would have just taken everything up like a whole new level, like viewership wise, engagement wise, you know, everything.
A whole nother category of game being like chat interactive, right? It's it's a similar thing. Like if you played Fall Guys and it's just a standard match, but then chat has influence over what happens. Like, I don't know, extra blocks disappear or more balls fly at you, or like, you know, you're running at 1 time speed, like half time speed where everyone else is at 1 times, right? Like what is
or
that
if they all vote, like he jumps to the right or something like that. The little character
it controls your character.
Oh my god, can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? Fall Guys frustrated me so much without chat messing with me.
Yeah.
Can you? Oh my god, I can't even imagine. I think that again, that would have just taken like the whole phenomena of Fall Guys taking over everything, like to a whole new level. Again.
Yeah.
Holy 100%. Yeah, that would be so cool. That'd be so funny to see.
New feature requests will bring Fall Guys back.
Oh, 100%. I think it would, at least for a day or two, for sure. Don't know about longevity, but
get more frustrated at again.
100%. But it's going to be cool, man. I'm very excited to see.
So that has been the new Zoo Esports and Gaming Live Trends to watch in 2022. Thanks for joining us. I am Nick from Go2Game, joined by Jack, head of Go2Game. If you're liking the videos that we're putting out so far, make sure to let us know in the comments below. And if you want to continue watching Go2Game content, make sure to subscribe and check out the other videos that are going to float up on screen now. We'll catch you next time.
Do it. See you later.
See ya. Thanks for hanging out watching the stream. That's not a stream. It's a little pre-recorded video.
Holy dolly.
Oh, man.